Welcome to Zappy's Detail Garage, where today we'll be showing you how to properly clean your wheel and tires on your vehicle. Now to get started, we're going to rinse off the wheel well, the tire, and the rim. Initially to remove any dirt and debris or road grime. And we also want to make sure that the surface we are working on is cool and wet to the touch. Because if we were to apply any chemical on these surfaces, you could potentially flash and then damage the vehicle. So while I'm rinsing off everything, you can see that on the bottom left of the screen, I do have a bucket with a grit guard in it, with also some clean water and my wheel brushes that I'm going to be using in the video. Now, the chemical that I'm using right now is a degreaser. It's going to help break down any of that tough dirt or grime. I'm spraying the wheel well and the tire with it. And the next chemical I will be using is a wheel cleaner. Now I'm first spraying the face of the rim, and then I will start to spray the inside barrel of the rim as well to make sure that everything gets a good coating of the wheel cleaner. And then what we're going to do next is just let the chemicals dwell for about a minute, so that way they can work and start to break down all that road grime and dirt. Now, I won't be scrubbing the actual wheel well, just because on this vehicle, the wheel wells were not dirty at all. They just had some light dust on it, so that's why we're only spraying just the chemical. But typically, say if the car was dirty or it had heavy dirt inside the wheel well, I would spray the degreaser and then I would scrub it. Once the chemicals are done dwelling, I'll grab my tire brush and I'll start to scrub the tire. And I'm working from the top to the bottom, and then I'm also working from the outer wall of the tire to the inner wall of the tire. And you can see that it is high sudsing as well, with a lot of dirt. Even though the tires did look clean, this truly shows that with some good chemicals and a good scrubbing, you can get the tire looking even more cleaner. That way, when you apply the tire shine, it'll actually bond to the tire instead of slinging off or not even lasting that long. Next, I'll take my wheel brush. I will clean inside of the barrel of the rim. I will be going in a back and forth motion, trying to clean behind the spokes as well. And we do have two different type of wheel brushes. This is the smaller version of the easy detail brushes, because the larger version obviously would not fit between these spokes. But like I mentioned before, every spoke I clean, I try to dip it into clean water to try to clean off the brush. And I am working in a right to left motion, trying to get behind the spoke. Next, I'll take a smaller detail brush, and with this, all I'm doing is cleaning all the little cracks and crevices, cleaning the lug nuts to try to loosen up any of those dirt debris and agitate the dirt to try to make it easier for when we try to rinse off the vehicle. Once we are done scrubbing the tire and the rim, we'll then start to rinse everything down. And once again, we're going to be working top to bottom. That way we don't work over ourselves and we're pushing the dirt down. And as you can see, the wheel is already looking cleaner, but unfortunately we're not done yet. Our next stage is going to be an iron decontamination stage to make sure that any iron particles are removed from the vehicle. That way we can truly say that this tire is completely clean. And as you can see, as when I was rinsing it off, I was also rinsing inside the barrel off as well, since we did have chemical in there. And then the next stage would be our iron decontamination stage. We're going to be using iron melt from PDP in here, and just like the wheel cleaner, we're going to be spraying the face of the rim off, also getting inside the lug nuts and then also inside the barrel of the rim as well. Now with this product, it's pretty cool. You let it sit for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then periodically it will turn purple due to the chemical reaction from the chemical and the iron particles. But with this tire, unfortunately, you won't be able to see too much of that because it was a pretty clean wheel. But typically with very heavy contaminated wheels or rims or even paint of the vehicle, typically turns purple. So what we'll do is we'll just let this dwell for about 3 to 5 minutes and then we'll come back. Before I speed up the clip for the sake of the video, I just wanted to say that all the products, tools, and chemicals that we are using in this video will be linked below, so that way you can check them out, give them a try out, see if you like them. But the entire process of this video is a true process of what we do in our own detail centers and shops. That way we can get the wheel and tire completely clean. Once again, this is the true process of how we clean the tire and wheels in the detail shops. Now I know that some other companies and detail shops have different ways. I'm not saying that they're wrong. Everybody has their own ways. But this is what we highly recommend, and this is what we see is a true way to get true results when you're cleaning tires and wheels. Once the iron melt has dwelled for about 3 to 5 minutes, we'll then take our wheel brushes again, and then just like before, we're going to clean the inside barrel of the rim, going in a back and forth motion, left to right. That way we can get as far back as we can, and then behind the spokes. Now, we could have just sprayed this off easily instead of agitating it, but I always like to agitate once we're done with spraying down the iron melt. That way we make sure that we get a truly clean wheel, and then just in case we missed anything on our initial pass of cleaning the rim, we'll get it on this stage. And as you can see, the wheel is actually looking even shinier than after our initial cleaning. This truly shows that you should not miss this step of cleaning your wheels. I always recommend periodically completing an iron decontamination stage because this is the dirtiest part of your car and it should not be left out. And just like before, I was just taking a little brush, clean the lug nuts, all little cracks and crevices the other wheel brush wouldn't hit, to make sure that we agitate all the surfaces to make sure we get a nice true clean rim. And next is the final step. We'll just be rinsing off the tire. Make sure that we get all the chemicals rinsed off. I highly recommend taking your time with this step because the iron decontamination stage does not dry very well if you leave any of the chemical residue behind. So I'm going to be spraying off the inside of the barrel as well, and then making sure all the chemical is off. Now that completes our full tutorial on how to deep clean your wheel and tire. If you guys like this content and are looking for more how-tos on the exact process of what we do in our own detail centers, please feel free to drop a like and hit the subscribe button. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.